Hello everyone and welcome to the Virtual Racing Championship Round 5 here at the Spanish Grand Prix at the Barcelona circuit, at the Circuit de Catalunya, Barcelona technically, for what is promising to be a very exciting Grand Prix ahead of us. We have 17 drivers here, and importantly we have got Deagle Killer, the current championship leader, who is on 69 points. Sadly though, we haven't got second place man Veloce Ollie D. He is unable to attend today and he is not here for today's proceedings. I am your commentator for this evening, Oliver Glazebrook, and I will be taking you through what's going to be some interesting action on track and potentially off track. We do get a bit of drama between drivers. We've not had too many stewards inquiries recently, so the driving standards have been nice and clean, but we're going to keep ourselves nicely set up here for what promises to be a very exciting Grand Prix. You can see there an absolute gaggle of cars are coming out on the track nice and early. You've got the Red Bull of Tim Palm, I believe that was Brown just behind him as well. There's Blizzard, Pit Matt just coming out. I think that was the H Eagle. No, it was, you can see there's absolutely crap tons of cars there who are out on track, like Cherry 2 Pie, who picked up his first racing points at China, and since then has not had the greatest start to the season, only on 10 points. You'd expect a bit better from him as he heads onwards as he comes through here. He was actually the guy who we raced with on our on-lap track laps. We was going to post that, but sadly there was issues with that, but he's very confident and comfortable around here. Speaking to some of the guys beforehand, we're looking at a 1 minute 15 higher number. Oh, his camera's actually gone wide there. Very strange there from Cameron. Probably will want to ignore the fact that that's just happened on board with him, but he's just gone horribly wide there. And there is his good friend Pit Matt, just behind him, out on track as well. So them two getting nice and close there, two coordinators for VRC, getting very tight on track together. We'll go on board with Tim Palm, who's coming through the final few corners ahead of his first flying lap. Yellow flag in sector 3 there as well. Not too sure who that's for. We'll have a must have been someone going wide. Another one, in fact. It must be the guys gaggling up and bunching up as they head towards their first flying lap. So as mentioned, yep, Cameron only on 10 points at the moment. It's going to want to do a bit better than this. Tim Palm, another guy who you'd expect to be doing a little bit better at the moment. I will quickly run you through the standings as I get them up in 1 second. Let's have a quick look if I can find them, with Tim Palm coming down now up turn 3 into this long right-hander where Hamilton and Rosberg come together historically in 2016 for what was probably one of the most iconic moments in modern day Formula 1, when them two came together and had an almighty collision between the two of them. Let's see if we can get it up. Here we go. So the standings are as follows. It's Deagle Killer who is top on 69 points, then second is Veloce Ollie D on 68. TTG Poe, he's on 33 points, he's in 9th position at the moment, he is here to attend. Then you've got a very tight battle between him and the H Eagle. He's on 31, 2 points separating them guys. You then got a massive midfield battle. Lambo, he's in 5th on 22. You've got Lightning Gasly on 19, McGrady on 18, Dan Daniel, he's on 17, Marquetti's, he's on 16. Pit Matt, he's on 14. Plezix also on 14. Tim Palm on 14. Fic Rouge is on 12. Cherry 2 Pie on 10, and then VSR Blizzard, he is on 2 points at the moment. You see there Tim Palm coming through the final corner, and he set his first lap. Brown, I believe that is just setting up on his lap now as well, so he'd be a little bit annoyed he got held up by the guy behind him. Brown showing maybe a little bit of jest there as he locked up the front tyres very early on, but Tim Palm setting the first flying lap. Blizzard there absolutely smashes it, 4 tenths quicker. He moves up into P1 for the time being. As the first set of laps will start to come in, we'll keep an eye on all of these guys' times here in qualifying with just 30 minutes to go. Sector 2, yellow flag. Oh, there's the car. It is Francis, who's been spinning around a late entrant, a reserve driver, who said he could make it just a few minutes beforehand and has joined in and has spun and lost the car. We just caught the rear end of that there. He's lost the car. I don't think any major damage for him. He'll get up and going. Yellow flags in sector 2 there. Lambo's now gone top with a 17.5. We were expecting the 15s, maybe 16 threes. To I'd say probably the high 15s is what we're hearing is going to be the lap times from a lot of these guys. Cherry 2 Pie doing a 1 minute 20. A lot of the guys are going to qualify on the soft compound tyres. Let's get the tyres the guys are out on at the moment. So yeah, a couple of guys on softs, super softs as well. One stop strategy is possible and plausible if these guys go for it. I think the guys who've done 1 minute 20s, 22s, Pit Matt's Cherry 2 Pies are going to come out on the soft compound tyres. A couple of guys, someone's got on mediums. Deagle Killer on the medium compound tyre very early on. on, so that's an interesting manoeuvre from him. One stop is doable, but expect a lot of the guys to be doing 2 stops who are going to be on the fastest strategy. Favourites to win this race early on, we've been told Blizzard has got some good pace. As you can see, he's up in P2 at the moment, but other than that, we could see ourselves with a very tight battle in qualifying here today. Just going to quickly take a quick water break. This could be a very, very long evening here. Spanish weather, we're looking like we're going to have dry conditions from what I'm hearing as well, so should be a nice straight fight and shootout between these guys at this moment in time. So yeah, at the moment it's a very tight qualifying. Man in third place, 1 minute 17.8 is just 3 tenths off the top spot at the moment on medium compound tyres. So the championship leader is doing a very exceptional job at the moment as he looks to be ramping up and coming into the pits now as well. Anyone out there on out laps? Dan Daniels in his 3rd flying lap. He seems to be struggling a little bit on them tyres, very old tyres. TR Button at the moment as well. He's in 13 on 2 lap old tyres. He's yet to set a lap time as well, so must be invalidated laps or something that's keeping and hindering him at the moment. Green flags out there as there must have been a yellow flag beforehand. You can see that Tinge has now lost control of the car down at that's the uphill right-hander, so I'm too sure how he's lost control of the car that badly, but he's ended up in the gravel just before the DRS zone, the 90-degree uphill right-hander. Very tough corner as he's gone off wide there as well. Must be struggling for front wing, maybe a puncture or something, I'm not too sure. He hasn't got a puncture. He's let the car behind him of LMC will go by as well, so Tinge really struggling there at the moment, and from the Dutchman you'd expect maybe a bit better than that. He's really going the long way around at the moment, just taking all the lines and just wants to avoid all the chicanes and slowing down at all, and he has taken the action and come into the pit lane. So at the moment it's Francis and Tinge who are the 2 guys we've caught on board with, going relatively slow. Marquetti's has got some pace in him as well, the other Williams driver, going through into this long right-hander down into turn 4. You could see a few guys getting onto that grass and curbing and losing the rear end, so that's going to be an interesting one to keep a close eye on at the moment. Pit match, Cherry Tupai both in the pits. Tim Palm's out on track as he's looking to ramp up for another lap. He's on medium tyres as well now, as Deagle Killer's on super softs now as well. Here comes Tim Palm, so maybe he's feeling he can improve. We'll keep an eye on this lap now. We'll go on board with Tim Palm on the medium compound tyres. This could be an improvement for him, as I don't think he really was on maximum speed. Down the start-finish straight, one of the fastest and longest start-finish straights you'll find on Formula 1. He gets a good line there, has to take 2 hits at the corner at the apex, but gets it nicely, switches left and right nicely, doesn't lose the rear end. Uphill here, want to take as much curve as possible, keeping all 4 wheels on the track. You don't want to get on the curbing on white line completely, as it may hinder your line. He gets a little front right lock up there, it's going to hinder him a little bit. He's lost the rear end, he's on the grass, but he's kept enough momentum through there. He is really struggling on these medium tyres to get them up to temperature. Doesn't hit the apex, opens the corner curbing on the right hand side of the track now, through probably the most difficult section of the track as you go up this uphill left-hander which quickly turns to a right-hander, just about avoiding the grass and AstroTurf, getting maximum traction up this right-hander, opening the DRS as early as possible to get maximum speed down here, braking at the 100 metre board, just about at the 50 metre board there, opens the corner up nicely, 90 degrees, almost a hairpin, a good overtaking zone, another left-right quick high-speed chicane style section of corners. It's going to catch out a lot of drivers today. Up the hill then, down the right hand for these iconic chicanes, it's really going to bunch the guys up, especially under safety car conditions. We could see this race out. He comes through the final few chicanes and I think he isn't going to improve, but it's a real scrappy lap. He might have to go again. He comes through the final corner and that is a lap of the Spanish Grand Prix with Tim Palm. He crosses the line, he doesn't improve, and he will need to go again if he wants to get higher on their medium compound tyres. We've just checked on Twitter that Team MZ, if you are watching along live, not too sure, but yeah, it does say on the Twitter post BST, on the graphic it says GMT, so a little bit of a confusion there from the graphic and the tweet itself. Well, apologies for that, but yeah, I think everyone got the gist of the timing there. But Tim Palm now dropping down a little bit. Muxendit is up into 4th now. The McLaren's in 3rd and 4th. A good job. Here comes Blizzard through the final few corners. Let's see what Blizzard is able to do. He crosses the line and he goes into pole position, 1 minute 17.5, so maybe maybe it was an over-exaggeration of the 15s. I was told a few guys were saying they could maybe get into the 16s, and maybe that was maybe it's a little bit off chart. Maybe these guys are just leaving it a little bit late. But Blizzard on the so I'm in at 17.5, so I really don't think these guys are at maximum speed at the moment. I honest to God think that we might be seeing these guys going at less competitive pace at the moment. Maybe it's that battle for 11th where Cherry 2 Pie at the moment is where everyone wants to be on fresh tyres to go for a one-stop. If it does sound like I'm a little bit nasally and bunged up, it's because I am. Bunged up nose, little croaky throat, so I do apologise for that. I missed AOR commentary at the weekend because of said illnesses, and I think I've almost recovered from it. I'll be surprised if I've come out of this with my throat feeling 100%, but we'll keep going. It's just 10 hundredths of a second separate top spot and second place of Blizzard and Lambo at the moment. A real good strength from them guys. We'll quickly run you through what the top 10 looks like at the moment. Is there anyone on lap? Luxende, I think he's just started one, so we'll keep an eye on what he's doing at the moment. And it's Blizzard at the moment. In the McLaren from Lambo, Muxendit's in third, Tim Palm, he's in fourth, Francis in fifth, Championship Legal, Deagle Killer, Velocity LED will be keeping a close eye on this stream later on. I dare say I'll be checking the results and the standings to see what happened in that battle. Deagle Killer, he's in sixth, it's Button in seventh on the medium compound tyres. Then it is Will in eighth, Brown in ninth, TTG Poe is in 10th, Cherry 2 Pie 11th, Pit Matt in 12th, and then the guys yet to set laps, Super Guy NL, Damn Daniel, Marquettis, and the H Eagle. And speaking of which, Tinge has now gone top. 1 minute 17.382. Saw earlier issues from him. I still think them times are going to come tumbling down very, very quickly. If you look at the place of Blizzard and whatnot, let's have a look, see what their fastest laps are on. Yeah, Blizzard on the medium, same too with Extendit, Tim Palm, Francis and whatnot, and Deagle Killer, Button, Brown, LMC Will. You'd imagine that them times are going to come tumbling down if them guys come in for a set of super soft tyres. So yeah, it's an interesting race, this. It's one of them tracks on the calendar where there's always a good bit of overtaking. It's one of them exciting tracks, especially ahead of Monaco next week. That's going to be an absolute classic. We'll obviously have that one live for you next week to get you nice and excited ahead of what is promising to be a real riveting Grand Prix. Hopefully we'll have some real on-track action as well for that one. Some crashes, and it could really throw a spanner in the works. We've got 17 guys here today. Let's hope we can get 20 for next week's Grand Prix. So Monaco next week, this could be a real important one for Deagle Killer, because if he can get them 25 points today, that gives him a 26-point gap over Ollie D in the championship. Ollie D is guaranteed to be second place no matter what after this race, because of the points gap he has to third place man TTG Poe. But nonetheless, if you're Ollie D, you're thinking hopefully damage limitation. If Deagle Killer retires from this Grand Prix, say Poe or someone wins it, we have ourselves a real good freeway scrap in the championship. And also, by the way, if you do hear me stop for a second, it'll be because I've either coughed or blown my nose or something, just to get that. So if I do go, for example, just silent for a second, that will be the reason why. And I'll be taking frequent water breaks throughout this, so my throat doesn't die. This is why you kind of sometimes need a co-commentator. You know, take the sails out the, you know, take the break out. I'm just tired. I'm talking nonsense now at this point. But all the guys coming into the pit for the final time going to be putting on their final qualifying tyres. We'll keep an eye on what tyres are fitted now. Soft compound tyres throughout the board. So you'd imagine that's the set of tyres everyone's going to be going for. Literally, that's incredible. Only 3 guys are on the super softs and 1 guy on the medium compound tyres. So I think we know what tyres are preferred from the drivers ahead of this Grand Prix. So it looks like the first man out on track is going to be Tim Palm. I think, let's keep an eye when it says out lap. I think it's Tim Palm. Yep, Tim Palm will be the first man out on track. I'll keep an eye on the left hand side. So once Tim Palm sits his lap, we'll go to the next guy who comes out. He's got a lot of clear track ahead of him at the moment, which is quite surprising. I would have thought somebody would have come out, but at the moment it looks like it's just Tim Palm. Super Guy NL is out there at the moment as well, giving himself enough time and space. Yeah, he's got just I think he might be on a lap at the moment actually. Doesn't look to be too quick. He's got I think he's on a lap at the moment, so we'll keep an eye on Super Guy NL at the moment, to see what he's capable of doing. And he's come through this long right-hander, and it looks to be a little tidy lap at the moment. He's on the medium tyres. If I was him, though, I'd probably dart into the pits and go onto the soft compound tyres nice and early, and just go for that one more lap. Everyone's out on there on the soft compound tyres at the moment as well. Is Super Guy? Yep, he's going to be the only guy not on the soft compound tyres for his flying lap. Here he comes then across the line. Where can he go? He moves up into P8, but I don't think he's going to be starting there with the soft compound runners. I think it might be a little bit too slow for that man. Tim Palm out there as well. You've got Dan Daniel, Marquettes and H Eagle, the two guys at the bottom. They're obviously playing it nice and safe. Here comes Tim Palm for his flying lap as we get these lovely camera angles down on this start finish straight. Some fantastic graphics on the grassing there. You can see the poppies and the flowers. It's beautiful graphics to get these lovely camera angles. He's coming down now into turn one, gets on the brakes nice and early, clips that apex left and right uphill, firm on the acceleration up to 5th and 6th now. Want to just feather the throttle slightly, accelerating all 4 wheels just off the track then maybe. I'm not too sure. I think it's a clean enough section of corners there. Lock up from the front right and potentially the front left as well from him. Opens the corner up nicely. It's going to come down this left-hander now on this section of corners, finishing sector 1 off nicely. It's almost a symmetry style corners through sector 1 and sector 3 the way they're set up. Previously as well in the old layout it was nearly identical the way them sets of corners were laid out. It was very, very interesting the way it was. Oh, Tim Palm there just avoiding a catastrophic crash there. He's going to lock up them front tyres and try and savour his lap. If I was him I'd back off and go again, but Tim Palm there just narrowly avoiding major disaster, and that could have been horrendous for him if he wouldn't have saved that moment there for him. So for the final time he comes through these final few corners, let's keep an eye on him. I think he's going to be backing off and going once again to keep that gap he has. I think everyone's out on track apart from Francis at the moment, so it looks like Francis left it a little bit too late. Tim Palm's still gone pole, but I do not think it's good enough from him. Is Francis out on track? Yeah, Francis is, so he'll be okay. Super Guy NL is not going to be able to. Everyone else will be out on track, and I think the first man who will be setting a lap is the H Eagle, maybe? I'm not too sure. Let's go for... Oh no, there's a few guys out there. Cherry 2 Pie, there's a McLaren, I think there might be Blizzard. It is Blizzard, so a man you could expect to get pole position. Let's keep an eye on Blizzard and have a look down the start finish straight and listen to that engine roar down the straight. A great little section of turn 1 and 2 there from Blizzard. Done a real good job as he heads uphill. Let's see if he can get this nicely done. Yeah, not as wide as Tim Palm was there, so it looks to be a tidy lap from Blizzard at the moment. A retirement from Super Guy NL. He's going to tumble down that grid quite quickly there. Keep an eye on your left hand side of your screen because them times are going to switch around. At the moment Tim Palm's on pole from Tinge and Blizzard, but I have a very, very sneaky suspicion that we're not going to be seeing that as the exact same layout here. We're going to be seeing 16s and maybe even some some high 15s at a push here from these guys through that corner. Blizzard, beautiful, nice and exit there, opens the DRS nice and wide as he comes down into this 90-degree hairpin style corner, a great overtaking zone, then opens it up on the curbing, loses the rear end slightly. He heads up the hill swiftly on the right hand side, clipping the curbing, keeping a narrow apex for it, doesn't want to lose the rear end, nicely onto the curbs now, comes through this final few corners into this chicane section. If he can get maximum acceleration he can gain significant time here, taking it perfectly onto the curbing, opens the corner up, full acceleration, he comes through the final corner for one last time, DRS wide open, and Blizzard does go to pole position, 1 minute 16.4. Will that be good enough for pole position from him? Cherry 2 Pie moves up into 4th place, 9/10 off Blizzard at the moment. Who else is down there? Oh, a big crash there from Lambo, huge crash from Lambo. He just joined on board there, he's lost it through that right-hander uphill 90-degree corner just before the DRS zone, and he has lost control of the car. That'll be yellow flags, and that may hinder a few guys. The Eagle Killer, he's up into 2nd position now, 3/10 off Blizzard. The H Eagle, anyone else we need to keep an eye on? This Cherry 2 Pie's time has only got him 8 for the moment. Pit Matt's backed off. Pit Matt has called it a day, and at 5.6 seconds, a terrible qualifying session from him. And that is not one he wants to be looking back on, and I think that might just be everyone at the moment, and it is. That is your roundup for qualifying, and you can see the carbon fibre flying on the side, but it is pole position for the McLaren of Blizzard. 1 minute 16.4 was good enough in the end. I heard a few guys saying they can get low 16s, so maybe a few bottle jobs. Pitmat himself said he could get into the 16s, so very, very poor time, but there is your roundup of qualifying. Let's take a look of the grid then for the race that's about to happen. Of course, formation lap underway soon. Blizzard's on pole, representing Great Britain in fine style. In Deal Killer, he is in 2nd place. McSendit's in 3rd. Dan Daniel is the highest German in 4th. 5th is Poe. Then you got a the double German armada there on the soft compound. It's H Eagle and Tim Palm. Tinge is in 8th. Cherry 2.9. TTG Poe had that big crash, will be disappointed. He's only 10th. Marquettes, he's in 11th. Brown 12th. Francis is in 13th. Sorry. Super Guy NL is in 14th, Button 15th, Will in 16th and 5.6 seconds off. He's never going to live this down, I can tell you that. It's the King Bottle Shop. It's 99 Pit Matt. He's in 17th position there. So Matt really struggling. So I dare say there'll be a bit of stick from some of the guys about that from Matt. But a fantastic qualifying session from Blizzard there. He pulled it out of the bag. He did look very competitive from start to finish, and no one's really surprised, I don't think, that he's pulled that out of the bag. And yeah, he'll be very pleased with that one. He just needs to now guide this in. Can he get one stop? I think a lot of the guys on soft compound tyres are guaranteed one stops. It'll be interesting to see what the guys behind go for as well, though. The pit mats and whatnot, they'll probably go for mediums. If these guys really do ramp up these tyres, you could find that some of them may not be able to get them tyres to last. We saw at China an absolute classic where the two front runners both had punctures, and it allowed I believe it was Ollie D to go through and win that Grand Prix. So there is real potential that this race could cause a bit of drama, spark up a little bit of controversy maybe. We'll keep an eye on what things happen, but we'll have a quick little predictions I like to do sometimes about who to keep an eye on. A few guys I want to keep an eye on. I think Tim Palm potentially. I think Lambo as well, down in 10th position. He'd be a little bit annoyed if anything. He's not starting 11th to start on a fresh compound tyres. He's on the super soft, so he may fly through the field early on as he starts on the quickest compound tyre that are going to be available to these guys. So we'll keep an eye on what he can do. Formation laps about to get underway. Let's get ourselves the gaps to the leader. Broadcast, yeah, we'll keep the broadcast on for this. Lovely camera angle there as the guys come down the start finish straight. As let's look what the tyres they're all on. So Tinge on soft, Lambo on soft. The entirety of the top 13 other than them two on soft compact, sorry, super soft for Tinge and Lambo. The entirety of the top 13 other than them two are on softs, and you've got Super Guy now and Pit Matt both starting mediums going for the alternate strategy. Button and Will, they're on 15 and 16 at the moment. So yeah, that's McLaren there trying to get past McSendit or Deagle Killer. Maybe not the wisest thing to do, fella. He is the championship leader. Give him some respect there. The American getting very excited and excitable as Button has left the session. Hopefully he can rejoin nice and quickly. Pit Matt's overtaken him, so we'll keep an eye on what happens to that guy. A little jump there from the Ferrari. Brown there. Oh, and Brown and Marchetti's. I think that is. Where's that Brown and Francis? I think it's Brown and Francis. Both of them now being told to retire. I don't know what happened there, but there was a Ferrari inside a Mercedes. The last time that happened, of course, was when Sebastian Vettel hit Lewis Hamilton for probably the 7th or 8th time, something like that. Little. And yeah, so little glitch there, but I dare say that'll be good. So I'm going to quickly get on board with Blizzard for this final moments as the formation lap and get ourselves ready for what promises to be a fantastic Spanish Grand Prix. Here we are then, all the guys lining up on the grid one last time. Blizzard leads. It will be Blizzard on your right hand side, Deagle on the left. Keep an eye on the McLaren behind of Extender and Damn Daniel. Poe, H Eagle, they all could have lightning quick starts. Tinge and Lambo on the super softs could be lightning at the start of this Grand Prix. We'll keep an eye on what happens at the start here, so let's get it on board. I reckon we'll go with for Blizzard because the camera angle will cut onto it in a second. The lights about to get underway. When are they going to come out? We're just waiting. This is a long old wait for these guys at the moment now. Here we are then, as Button's had a false start, I think. I'm not too sure what's happened there. Button's gone, I think. I'm not too sure what's happened there. So Button's had a false start or something. He's gone and he's left the session there. Well, Button's left the session. We've got ourselves 5 red lights. Let's see what happens here. It's lights out and away we go. Here comes the McLaren with a good start, but it looks like the Eagle Killer behind may have just got in there. He's in the slipstream as they head down into turn 1. McLaren behind as well, getting the slipstream. Is anyone going to go for a late lunge up the inside? It looks like the McLaren of Blizzard gets it done back there as well. There looks to be together the Williams and the Sauber and the Forcing just clipping each other there, but a good enough manoeuvre all come through this first corner. There's some grab being up. Who's that? Who's got down there further? No, looks like it was just somebody going a little bit wide. There's it all head now. No real contact. The Sauber and I think that's a Williams as well. There's the Sauber going round. I said the Sauber and the Williams, and the Sauber has gone round. That's the H-Eagle, and he's taken Cherry 2-Pie with him there. An unfortunate coming together of the H-Eagle and Cherry 2-Pie, which is going to hinder both of their Grand Prix, and I think there'll be a little bit of race there. I'm not sure the Williams that come together with the H-Eagle, but there's definitely some contact. Look at this battle going up through the midfield though. On board with Pit Matt, he's seeing it's all going off. Lambo there ahead. It's all involved with this battle. Super Guy NL, Brown, Will as well, as they're all going to come into this rest zone in 3 laps time. That'll be available for all of these guys. And there's late braking there from Lambo as he's hit the car ahead of him. I think it was Super Guy NL up the rear end, and Lambo has gone wide and probably lost major front wing. Pit Matt avoiding that, and that is some big contact between them guys there, as he's going to have to let him through now. Cars forming on this midfield scrap. Marchetti's Tim Palm's dropped down quite dramatically. Poe, Tinge has done well to get his positions nice and early as these all come through. The intervals are starting to form as the fastest lap of Blizzard. No real surprise. Let's have a look, see what positions have been gained there. 10 places from Button, of course, is not really relevant at this point. Tim Palm and Co behind. McSendit's trying to get onto the rear end of Dan Daniel. He lost the position at the start from the man in the Haas car. Deal Killer's going to have to try and hold on to that 1 second gap for DRS purposes. Into the pits comes the H-Eagle, Lambo and Cherry 2-Pie. No surprises, as all 3 of them were involved in the incidents at the start on lap 1. So it is Blizzard from Deagle Killer, Dan Daniel, McSendit, Tinge, Poe, Tim Palm, Marchetti's, Francis, Will, Brown, Button, Pit Matt, Super Guy NL, then Lambo, H-Eagle and Cherry 2-Pie. Super Guy NL was retired, not too sure what for, but he has decided to call it a day for this Grand Prix, and he has dropped out, sadly for him, and there will be no points on offer for him this Grand Prix. Apologies for that, I just had to clear my throat there as Pit Matt 2 seconds behind, so maybe he's picked up some damage or just is really lacking pace at the moment, and then these guys maybe got cold tyres. Lovely camera angle with them guys there, all heading uphill. Lovely, really tight battle here. We'll keep an eye on what Francis sees, because he's probably got the best eye view of some of these battles. I think it could be a real danger for Poe, and maybe even Tinge there, but Tinge has got some serious pace on them fresh tyres. Let's keep an eye on this now. So they're all heading down into the start-finish straight. In a lap's time, they're going to have DRS available, and that could be very, very dangerous. And here comes the Williams. Anyone behind going to go for a late lunge up the inside? No, they're all keeping single file at the moment, thinking better of it, but we can have DRS's. Tinge has gone off at turn 1 there and lost control of the car. Lucky for some there, he ghosted, and Tinge has now dropped down dramatically to 12th, and there goes Pit Matt as well, the slacker, the 5.5 seconds man, as Tinge is now in 13th, and them tyres are going to be dead. So if I was him, I'd probably pit for them mediums and try and get them going. There'll be flat spots and there'll be damage to that car as well, and Tinge really having a bit of a nightmare there heading into turn 1. And that now has left Poe extremely exposed. 2.1 seconds ahead of him is McSendit and that gaggle of cars, so he may be able to catch up to that, but he's going to be very much in a danger zone at the moment from the guys behind him. He's going to have to try and defend with all of his might. Anyone up here? I think the Eagle Killer on Blizzard could be a move we could potentially see very, very shortly. 6 yellow flags. Anything happened down there? Let's keep an eye on. And there's another Williams guy. It's Tinge again. Tinge has lost a car once again, so in the same lap, the same man has lost the rear end, and Pit Matt will be breathing a sigh of relief there. He was almost 8 tenths behind him, so he could have had DRS as these guys coming through now. Let's keep an eye on what's going to happen. Deal Killer will have DRS available to him. Let's see what he can get done now. Down the start-finish straight, fastest lap for him. Here comes DRS. His car set up for straight line speed. I'm not too sure. He's gaining, but I don't think it's going to be close enough as they head into turn 1. No, it's not. But if he can stick with his car for one more lap, he might just be able to get that manoeuvre done. Any battles? There's Tim Palm on Poe. He's got the manoeuvre done. Is Poe going to be exposed here to Marchetti's as they head up turn 3? The 69 car, can he penetrate? He's out the inside and he's penetrated him nicely there. Poe has gone off wide, and that is Marchetti's the inside, and that is him up to P6 of this Grand Prix. A great manoeuvre there from Marchetti's, and he and Tim Palm have now moved up past the Force India of Poe. Apologies for that, guys. Just had to quickly share record and record this so we have the highlights after this. Almost forgot about that, and yeah, got to make sure we get them highlights packages nicely done. As now on board with, who should we go on board with? It looks like Button is going to be the guy who's going to be on the back of Brown here for the last points paying positions. He wasn't able to get them over done. This gaggle of cars though is midfield, so it looks like sector 1 is the yellow flag. I'm going to go straight down. Tinge, is it him? Yes, of course it's Tinge. For the third time in 4 laps, Tinge has spun. calling it a day. Is he going to give up here? I'd imagine so. Tinge has lost the rear end, and that is him gone. From a good points paying position, he's dropped down. Cherry 2 Pie in 15th, H Eagle and Lambo. I dare say we'll be seeing some stewards' inquiries soon. Pitmat is lugging down there as well. Is there any battles? Deagle Killer is very close. He's gone up the inside, and there is the Haas of Dan Daniel as well getting involved. We've got a four-way scrap as they head up into turn 3 here. Looking behind, let's see if any of them can get a manoeuvre done there. Blizzard's defended nicely here. Here comes Dan Daniel. There's a slow car, a Tinge there, who could have got involved in that battle when he doesn't do so, and that really could have hindered some of them guys. There's some yellow flags out, but them guys are now doing good bits now, as it's 4 guys just separated by just under 1.5 seconds here. So this is very tight. Nearly a second separates them. It's almost a second separating all 3 of them behind Blizzard at the moment, which is really, really tight from these guys. They head up the hill. Let's see if any of them can get a manoeuvre done. I'd imagine Deagle Killer is the one who you keep an eye on, but Dan Daniel as well is getting very keen here. Now, can the German go for a late braking manoeuvre on the Dutchman? No, he can't do so. So Amsterdam will be safe here, as Hoffenheim is coming right for them. Don't know why I said that, but nonetheless, a great little scrap from these guys. Once again, the good thing about this lap is it's so quick and quick fire, and these guys can follow each other nicely, that there's no real dull moments. You can keep battling, and they can keep exciting. And once again, they're going to come down the start-finish straight. Let's see if any of them can get a manoeuvre done. On board with Blizzard, who's gone extremely wide there. He's doing a real good job at the moment as he comes down the start-finish straight. Can he get the manoeuvre done here? Let's see what he can do. But Deagle Killer pulled over to the left-hand side of the track now on the racing line. He's going to go around the outside. They're going to avoid contact. They are, and Deagle Killer gets the manoeuvre done this time, and the championship leader is in first position now, as Blizzard has to succeed the position and drop down to second. He's gone really, really wide. So too is Dan Daniel. Can Dan Daniel take advantage of this up the inside? Potentially, no, he's unable to, and he's thought better of it, and he has backed out. And these guys are going to continue to squabble, I reckon, for quite a foreseeable future as they all head down. Pitmat now has a 3-second time penalty as well, so a real miserable afternoon so far for him. He's in P12. The 5.5 second man is now having to try and really regain his reputation, you could say, in that regard. So, apologies for that, guys. If my internet does cut out at any moment, then I do apologise, as there could be potential that somebody in my family decides to reset our internet at the most unneeded time, which is going to be a pleasant one. Nothing really happened there. Dan Daniel's keeping an eye on the battle there. Tim Palm in 5th, Marquez in France, the Mercedes are in 6th and 7th. Poe keeps on dropping. Will is all over his rear end now as they head up into turn 4. Can he get the manoeuvre done? Will, he's going to be late on the braking. Here he goes up the inside. Can he get it done? Poe leaves him enough room. He's going to turn to the inside of the track now as they head down up round this long right-hander. There's the Ferrari in the background. Is the Force India going to get moved down at the inside and defend this nicely? Yes, he is. The Ferrari's getting eager as well, though. The switchback's available for Will. Can he get the momentum out the corner? No, he cannot, and he's going to stay in that position for P9 and P8. This battle will continue probably for the next lap between these. As this is now allowing Brown and Button to get involved, so 4 cars once again involved in a fantastic squabble for the position, and these guys are going to keep going for as long as possible, hopefully. Damage there for Button as he comes into the sharp corner there, and he's decided that he got run into the back of Brown, locked up his tyres, and that's really hindered him quite a bit there. Dan Daniel was 4 tenths behind Cherry 2 Pie, picking up a time penalty. He's currently the last of the runners. Real understeer problems there from Button. He's probably going to dart into the pits. There's a corner cut for him. If I was going to dart him, he has done. He's not really taken that well. That could be a steward's inquiry. He's not taken the line perfectly there. He's actually gone over the bollard, so maybe some questionable driving there. But nonetheless, into the pits he comes. He's now got a 5-second stop go for speeding, which is not ideal for him. He'll be probably be a little bit disappointed with the way that that's turned out. He's onto the fresh set of medium compound tyres for him, and into the pits. Let's see what he can do. Front ring change as well. Is he showing the... No, he wouldn't show the second stop go because it was just then. So let's see where he comes out. I think he's going to come out probably around about there, just behind Cherry 2 Pie on the H. This could be an interesting. They're heading down the start. enough speed, and he's got the manoeuvre done already. Here comes Button out ahead of them as well, and that's an important move for Button there as he tries to stay out and gain some points, so he's really lost out too much there, Button, as Marchetti's picks up a 3-second time penalty. Further up the field, let's see if any of these guys are battling. Blizzard is keeping an eye on the killer, and these guys are all still so close, so the Eagle gets away from the car ahead of him so much, and he's really, I'd say probably struggling maybe. These guys are all very similar pace at the moment. You can see the gap Tim Palm had, so yeah, there's a bit of a gap if you look from like Tim Palm, he's 2.5 seconds, you've got Marchetti who's 1.1, Francis 2.1, Poe 2.8, so at the moment there's a real gap, and then you've got that midfield battle of Poe, Brown, Will, Pitmat, no, not even Pitmat, just them 3 cars from 8th to 10th who are very close at the moment, keeping things exciting. No moves into that corner. Let's see if Brown can get anything done. Will behind is keeping an eye on it. Here comes Poe against Brown. No further, not this very. If he's watching, he'll be pretty disappointed at the moment the way that the Eagle is going. He'd need the Eagles to probably crash and have a DNF if he really wants that chance of championship, but it'd be 26 points. Poe's run extremely wide there, which is going to flick up Dirty Ed, which it has onto Brown. Is Brown able to capitalise? No, he is not, but TG Poe is not doing well at the moment. Poe will need to probably pit soon. These guys on the tyres are probably starting to struggle, and there's going to be feeling every inch of wear. You can see how wide Brown went there. That could actually open and fall up for Will, which it has done. Here comes Will now. He's going to have that slipstream. No DRS down this part of the track now. He's got ears available to him as he heads up the hill now. This could be a good overtaking opportunity, but he's lost the rear end slightly, and the car is not happy with that. He has lost it air, and I do not think he's able to get the manoeuvre done as they head down. Yeah, it's not going to be able to be done for him, so not ideal there from the Renault. He had a real good opportunity, but these guys are going to continue to squabble there. Pico and Lambo continue to battle. Button slightly ahead of them. Cherry 2.0 able to take advantage of his pace at the moment. Let's see what tyres all these guys are on at the moment. I'd imagine they're on quite old sets of tyres. Here they are, so 9 and 8 lap tyres. Dan Daniels into the is Tim Palmer. See if a move can be done here from H Eagle as he heads down into the sharp braking zone after the DRS, unable to get the move done there from the guy. As yeah, I've just got to take a quick drink break because my throat is now starting to kill me. So the gaps are starting to lengthen out between these guys at the moment. Lambo, they're really struggling. Let's see if H Eagle can finally get this manoeuvre done here. Lambo knows he's made a mistake and it's going to hinder him. Sauber now bearing down on the Force India. Let's see if he can get the move done there side by side once again. Let's see what he can do. These guys have been battling for a little bit. H Eagle gets back past Lambo, who overtook him only a few laps ago. He's going to try and get the switchback maybe and get more momentum up the hill. Here comes the Force India. Can he get the manoeuvre done as they head up? I think he's lacking traction at the moment and he's unable to get it done. Poe has now lost out to Will. At last he's got past. There he goes, round the outside of that long right-hander. Beautiful manoeuvre there from Will. He's done a fantastic job to get past Poe up there, and up into P7 goes Will in the Renault. A real exceptional job there and a great drive so far from him. A real good showing as he eps up the hill there. Tim Palm, who pitted, has now got a 3-second time penalty for his struggles as well. Yeah, a lot of these guys now going to be pitting on the soft compound tyres. The Deagle could have stayed out. Blizzard, Extended, Marchetti's France still staying out at the moment. There goes Brown, Will as well. Poe, so that really shows me, doesn't it? A lot of these guys have pitted early for the undercuts, like so Dan Daniel or Jim Palm, maybe to force the hand of the guys ahead of them. Could be interesting. Dan Daniel could actually come out in the lead of this Grand Prix, but at the moment 2 lap fresher tyres the guys ahead of him will have by the time they all pit, so that could really come and hinder him. The likes of Francis and Marchetti's, Blizzard and Extended, who are teammates of course, are going to have to time their H equals actually left there. They have to time their pit stop, so it's going to be probably a difficult one there. I think Marchetti's and Francis are going to be okay, but Extended and Blizzard, who are battling for podiums at the moment, it could be a case of if Blizzard doesn't pit this lap, Extended just needs to pit, try and cover up that Dan Daniel manoeuvre. As you can see, the gaps are starting to fill a little bit. If I was Blizzard, I'd probably pit this lap, try and go for the undercut. You can probably get the mediums 22 laps in this 50% race conditions. I dare say you should be able to. So if I was him, I'd probably come into the pits and maybe try and go the undercut, force Deagle Killer to make a mistake. Then maybe use McSendit as well, who could maybe pressurise him a little bit. Let's see what Deagle does though ahead. Will he dart into the pits? If he does, I'll just do the opposite. I'd come into the pits if I was Blizzard, and he has done. McSendit can't come into the pits, his teammate has. Will Marchetti's now come into the pits as well? Is he wise enough? No, if I'm Francis... Oh, speaking of Francis, lost the rear end. If I was him, I'd come in, and he has. So Francis has come in, and so too has Blizzard there. So 2 guys from the top, they're VSR guys. 3, 4, 5 as they all come into the pits, as they're all coming in now, and... let's see where Blizzard comes out compared to Dan Daniel. Here comes Dan Daniel down the start-finish straight. Where's Blizzard coming out? I think Blizzard's going to lose a few places here. Look, there's the Haas of Dan Daniel. Dan Daniel's got past him there, and that is Dan Daniel up into provisional P2. A good bit of undercut there from him, and he should be able to get ahead of Deagle Killer, but this traffic could actually hinder him. So Blizzard there, his undercut might be hindered by the traffic ahead of him of the likes of Pitmat and whatnot. Dan Daniel needs to try and get up to the back of Pitmat and get past him nice and early. Of course, Pitmat's going to be staying out longer because he started on the medium compound tyres. The man who was 5.6 seconds off in qualifying is now up into P6, a position that he's probably not used to with poor pace time like that. But you know, you've always got to let the let everyone have some involvement. You know, you've got to let all the slow kids have a chance in these sort of leagues as well. And yeah, you know, Matt's our special little boy who we're letting have a run around in the in the big boy car, in the big boy tier, as Will's on the rear end of Brown as well. Wow, Will's in the rear end of Brown. Yeah, anyone who's over the age of 18, apologise. Anyone who's under the age of 18, Cameron, basically, I would really not take any notice of what I just said. So they're all coming down now, the start finish, both of them coming into the pits there. Pitmat's going to be coming out, and Pitmat will be in the lofty heights of P4. Let's give him a round of applause. And McSendit now is also in the pits. Congratulations to Pitmat, who's going to be up into the podium positions. He's up into P2. He's now leading the Grand Prix. Congratulations to our special little man, Pitmat. But more importantly, congratulations to Dan Daniel, who is up into P1 after that undercut has worked nicely. But Pitmat could be the spanner in the works now for the Haas driver and actually come in favour for Deagle Killer and Blizzard. But Blizzard has got a great run there. Deagle Killer on slower tyres. Here comes Blizzard now for a potential provisional lead here. On the inside goes Blizzard. Can he get it done? Yes, he can. A great manoeuvre there from the McLaren driver, as the Haas is still getting stuck behind the Ferrari of Pitmat there. Up the inside goes Dan Daniel. Can he get it done? No. This is actually hindering quite a lot. Pitmat's not going to give him an inch here. He's in his own little race. He wants to prove his point. He wants to show he's not one of the special boys that let races. He's just clipped in there, Dan Daniel. And Blizzard now can take full advantage. They head up to the hill now. Dan Daniel's on two lap older tyres than Blizzard, and this is really not coming in handy. Will Pitmat defend nicely here? He's going to take the outside line and try and just make him go the long way around. Up the inside goes Dan Daniel. He does it. Blizzard breezes past Pitmat there, so he does it much easier, and this could be a crucial move there from Blizzard, as he's got a car in between him and Deagle Killer, who's on slower and colder tyres at the moment. That undercut has worked a treat. McSendit as well is just within range of Tim Palm. He's not going to have DRS, and neither is Deagle at this rate. He's just got into that range there of Pitmat. Here comes Blizzard now. Pitmat's going to have DRS as well, but I don't think he's got the pace to do it. Dan Daniel in the VP car versus VSR Blizzard. Let's see what he can do. DRS available to up to Rich Mix. Full wheel race. You can see the bar on the steering wheel. He's going to go the defensive line there. Dan Daniel making Blizzard go around the long way around, but he can't get it done there. And this is going to be a great battle between these two as it continues to go. I think Deagle Killer's got some form of problem, which will be music to the ears of the fans of Ollie D, as he's really struggling on these tyres at the moment, and he's got Tim Palm who's not really gaining on him behind, but Deagle Killer maybe struggling from dirty air or some form of damage. Something's happened to his car and he's not showing full potential at the moment. Blizzard though, he's all over the rear end of that Haas car at the moment. He is not giving up an inch, and he wants to try and get that position up and early. He still feels like he can win this championship, and and he can maybe just get that race victory that could maybe turn around this season. It's early days. It's only round 5 of the championship. It's a very tight championship battle at the moment. Of course, if you want to see the full standings, they'll be on our website very soon. Up the inside goes Blizzard, and he's got them about it, but he's going to have to try and stick with him like a magnet as they head up. A little bit of contact there. Any front wing damage? I don't think so from Dan Daniel. A sharp braking move there from Blizzard, which could have potentially have cost them both some front wing damage. Some damage there, and maybe cost Blizzard some time. Pitmat doing an exceptional job to stay within DRS at the moment, but Deagle Killer behind is probably going to get past him now. Here comes Dan Daniel. He's going to have DRS. I don't think he's got the straight line speed. He is gaining quite dramatically in the moment on the car ahead of him. Behind there is Pitmat and Deagle Killer. Let's see if Deagle can get past. No, he cannot. This is not good from Deagle. We can see the two guys he's battling with ahead. They could actually come together and cost themselves places. McSendit's got past Tim Palm, who's on older tyres, of course. Pitmat on 14-lap old medium tyres. And with the way everyone was pitting, you'd imagine he's going to go another 6 laps in this Grand Prix, maybe even more, with the way that them tyres was being managed at the moment. So he's done a real good job, Pitmat, as Deagle Killer's getting impatient. He's going to try and barge his way up the inside. There he goes. I think he's going to try and get it done. He's got the traction, he's got the acceleration. Is Pitmat going to defend? I don't think so, no. He's backed out of it. He realises he's involved in a different battle. He's getting the screen time in their time, but our little special boy has backed out of that, and Deagle Killer's up into a podium place now, as the two guys ahead of him are going to continue to squabble. Here comes Blizzard defending. Up the inside goes Dan Daniel. Later on the brakes. Can he get the move done? A lovely camera angle, a switchback manoeuvre there from Blizzard, and he's got the place done. Sector 2 and 3, there's contact. Deagle Killer's gone off, and Deagle Killer must have made a mistake or something, and McSendit's moved up into P3 there. So nightmare from Deagle. Pit Matt as well has let these guys by. Is there some form of issue on his car? There's a real good scrap going on. I don't know what to look at. Oh, it looks like a poor exit there from Dan Daniel, which means now we're going to have to look at Deagle Killer on McSendit. Up ahead, it doesn't look like Dan Daniel's got it done, so here comes Deagle. Can he get back past McSendit, the man who just overtook him after a mistake made by the Red Bull Racing driver as they're coming down the start-finish straight into turn 1. A good braking zone, the 100-metre ball, about 75 metres before the apex, and he's unable to get that manoeuvre done there. And a real good showing from McSendit, a guy who many wouldn't have expected to do well in this Grand Prix. He's really doing well for the McLaren boys, and 1 and 3 at the moment, a double podium for the McLaren driver, something you wouldn't see very often in this day and age of Formula 1. Further up the field though, you see Dan Daniel and Blizzard are keeping this battle nice and tight at the moment between these guys. Further down, let's have a look. Marquetti's and Francis got a big old gap, but Marquetti's actually gaining onto the back of Pit Matt, so this could actually bring all of these guys in. You see how close Tim Palm's involved into this little squabble as well. If McSendit can get within a second of Blizzard and Dan Daniel, then that could be really tight. Look at all them cars. These are on competitive laps as well. These are no lap cars at the moment. The furthest guy at the back is the H Eagle. Then you've got the likes of Cherry 2 Pie and Lambo who are pretty close, and even there you look 1.2, 9 tenths, 1.5, 6. I mean, from 10th backwards, they're all pretty tight, so we could have a little battle for the lead. Lambo's gone. Lambo's crushed out, and that might just be a DNF and a safety car. No, he's decided to keep going, but Lambo has lost a rear end there. We luckily caught on board with that. Lambo losing the rear end there, and that's one guy who's not into it, and he's crashed out. Interesting from Lambo, he's purposely crashed out, and that could bring out a safety car. Not the most sporting gesture from him. He could have just retired. He's crashed out of this Grand Prix. He's called it a day. Ayrton Senna helmet, not so Ayrton Senna-ish driving, I would say, from the Force India. Lambo was the third man to retire there, so it's now a promotion for the HG, go up into 14th, and he'd love a safety car. I don't think there's going to be one. Yellow flags have been cleared, and these guys are going to keep going once again. Dan Daniel is onto the rear end of Blizzard at the moment as he's just continuing to do so, really keeping the pressure. Marquetti's is now dispatched of our special little boy, and here comes Marquetti's past Pit Matt as he's got the manoeuvre done. Dan Daniel's got a 3-second time penalty. We will keep an eye on penalties very, very shortly to see who's where and whatnot, and see what's going to affect Lambo's left of session. I'm not sure if it's going to affect anything in the session lobby settings, maybe slipstream. I know there was glitches previously. Guys ahead though, you've got 2 Red Bulls and McLaren battling. Dan Daniel's dropping behind Blizzard. If he can break that 1 second mark, then it'll be dreamland for Blizzard, who can dominate this Grand Prix and dictate the pace. Sector 2, there's a yellow flag. Who's gone off? Let's have a look if we can see. It doesn't look like anyone. No, it was a quick brief one, but Will and Poe are very close at the moment, and Cherry 2 Pie knows he's got a 5-second gap to undo if he wants to have any chance of a point. It'd be a good recovery drive from him after the incident he had earlier with the Sauber of the H Eagle. He needs to pick up as many points. A massive corner cut there from Button. Jesus Christ, fella, that's gonna probably give you one hell of a warning. Pit Matt, lap 17. This is the guy I want to keep an eye on how long his tyres last. For the earliest pit stops, you've got Tim Palm and Dan Daniel, who are late lap old tyres at the moment, so you know they've been on since lap 10. So Pit Matt can get his tyres by 23 laps. You know, you'd imagine they all can get it done, but he looks to be struggling with pace at the moment. Whether that's just general raw pace around this track, all the tyres have gone, but the mediums do not look the most comfortable and confident tyre to be on as it locks up the front left-hand tyre there. McSendit and Deagle Killer are very tight. Dan Daniel was pulled away that gap he needed of 1 second to Blizzard to Dan Daniel, and Blizzard now has got a safe gap for the lead. So that battle for the lead was nice and pleasant, but it's sadly not come to much, and these two now have to try and hold on to places. Dan Daniel with a very successful drive so far. If he can hold on to P2, some really important points for him as he looks to try and maybe build a little championship charge. Anyone can still win this championship, of course. Deagle Killer will be leading after this Grand Prix. Of course, he was leading the championship going into it, but no one other than Ollie D could catch him, and Ollie D is of course not here this afternoon. Blizzard sets the fastest lap, 1:19.832. The McLaren driver on the medium compound tyres, a successful lap there. McSendit, speaking of McLaren, McSendit might get overtaken here as he comes into turn 1. Deagle Killer's going to try and force in their little lock-up from McSendit now, as Deagle is going to come around this long right-hander. If he can get the momentum and traction up and out of this corner, he's going to go wide here in the dirty air, and that's going to hinder him. And McSendit is unable to, Deagle Killer is unable to get a run on McSendit there. But that could open the corner up for Tim Palm, who's actually in quite a quiet and gentle race at the moment. Lap 19 of 53, coming to that final third of the Grand Prix very, very shortly in a few laps' time. Tim Palm on Deagle, and yeah, going to take a quick water break as these guys all heat up in what promises to be a really good final third of this Grand Prix. Welcome back, and there Deagle Killer unable to get past. Pit Matt has come into the pit, so he didn't get his tyres that long. Lap 20 he come into the pit, so that's not a good sign for the likes of, I think Blizzard should be okay. Damn Daniel's going to scrap him. Extended Deagle are going to be safe. Cherry 2 Pies coming to the pits as well. Pit Matt actually on the soft compound tyres. If he can fly it, could still be on for some solid points for the man who started in last. So be a good little recovery drive. Let's see what positions everyone has gained. So the highest gainers at the moment, you've got 2 places for Dan Daniel, not really up there. Buttons go up 7 places. Will, Pit Matt, both 6 each. Also Francis 6. Marchetti's on 5. So there's a few contenders for drive of the day. If I was to say at this moment who it would be, for me, Blizzard. Real mature driver, and he hasn't led every single lap as well. He's had to battle and scrap for it. Deagle Killer is going to have to really keep his eyes on the prize. Dan Daniel as well is really starting to struggle on them tyres at the moment, and he could find himself in no man's land at this moment in time. As you keep an eye, look how close the game extend it. He's going to try and make it a McLaren 1-2 with the way he's going at the moment. As they head up the hill, Cherry 2 Pie picking up a time penalty. His idea and chance of points are very slim at the moment. He's making up the numbers. We'll keep an eye on the gap Pit Matt has. It was 9 seconds, now 8 seconds, so Will could be in trouble here as he needs to try and get past Poe. McSend on down Daniel, and what we're actually finding now is that McSend and Deagle Killer have actually got some serious pace. If one of them gets past down Daniel, they can actually attack Blizzard here. So because this race is not done and dry, Blizzard needs to try and up his pace and build a bit of a gap to Dan Daniel, who could be a real help for him at the moment. He could start to hold them up. Tim Palm's dropping off quite a lot at the moment. He's on 11 lap old tyres as well, and we saw what Pit Matt was like when he was on them sort of tyres, and they were very slow and poor. So these medium compounds aren't great. Dan Daniel, a massive front left lock up here. If I was him, would you maybe go into the pits and come out for a super soft, maybe soft compound tyre, play it safe, or would you just go for it? You know, the tyres may have some life in them. You can see he's struggling. He's all over the place. The understeer is really coming into its own at the moment for these guys, and you can see what the difference is between 8 lap old tyres and 11 lap, just a gap. Look at Dan Daniel struggling through that corner. Deagle Killer, we'll keep an eye on what he sees from all this, because these guys are going to be very, very tight. You just see him coming. DRS available. McSendit's getting closer and closer down the start finish straight. Dan Daniel's going to go defensive, long way round for McLaren if he has to do it. Can he McSend it out the inside? And we're around the outside in this case. Going to go around the outside. Beautifully done there. Lovely little switchback. Pushes Dan Daniel to the limit, and he goes onto the gravel there, making a mistake. Round the outside goes Deagle Killer. What a manoeuvre there from the Dutchman, who move up into P3 there. A great overtake from Deagle and McSendit. He McSended it round the outside, and Deagle Killer, he really did kill that apex, and that is a great double overtake from the pair of them. Next target for them is the man who's leading this Grand Prix, 2.1 seconds up the road. McLaren 1-2. Could we have some fireworks down at the Tangerine garage? This could be a very interesting end, as they're all heading down now. 22 and 33. You saw their Pit Matt with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. He's in dreamland at the moment, our special little fella. He's in P11. He's 6.3 off Will, and he's going to try and gain every single lap, and I think he might be able to do it. He's on 2 lap old tyres, which are guaranteed to make it to the end. A real good alternate strategy from him. Kept out of the involvement, and he can still pick up some important points for the championship if he wants to really give them Ferrari boys a chance. And Brown not doing the greatest job at the moment in 11 and 12, but still get some points on the board. So extend it though, he's going to have to go through all of this all again as Deagle Killer. He's just 6/10 behind, and Deagle is a very lethal overtaker when he gets it. Look at the straight line speed, you can see him gaining. That orange speck is becoming bigger and bigger every single yard, meter, and it's not close enough there, but he's getting closer and closer. 1.8 seconds though to Blizzard. That's come down by 4/10 now to 1.7, so that time is coming down, so this race is definitely not over. Dan Daniels keeping within a second. The best thing he can do is keep it clean at this rate, try and stay out of any involvement of actions and just keep it nice and safe, and he could find himself involved in some podium battles and positions at the moment, and you know, there'll be some fireworks nonetheless, I dare say, at the end of this Grand Prix. Let's run you through the grid though, and how things are just over 2/3 of the way through this Grand Prix. Blizzard leads, McSendit in second, Deagle Killer, he's in third, Dan Daniels in fourth, Tim Palm in fifth, Marquetti's is in sixth, seventh is Francis, Buttons in eighth, ninth is Poe, 10th is Will, on his breathing down his neck is Pipmat in 11th, then it's Brown in 12th, Cherry 2-Pie in 13th, and the H Eagle in 14th, with our retirements of Lambo, Super Guy NL and Tinge there, and McSendit's really struggling. A yellow flag in sector 1, and it's Cherry 2-Pie who's lost a rear end coming out of turn 4, I believe that is, and he's crashed into the wall. I don't think there's any damage there for his car, but yellow flags are out. No, it's down into turn 1 there, so he's really lost the rear end dramatically. We'll jump back on board there. Deagle Killer was really close to McSendit, and I think this might be his best overtaking opportunity. McSendit's going to take a defensive line. Is he going to go on the right hand side? He is going to. So he's going to make try and McSendit out the inside. Deagle around the outside. A beautiful manoeuvre. Hangs it around the outside. Can he get it done? Yes, he can. And that's Deagle up into P2. And a good little recovery drive from him now. He's up into second place. And Blizzard, who done the undercut on him earlier, is now going to be seeing that Red Bull in his rear wing very shortly. 3-second gap now. So he has pulled it out slightly while them two were squabbling. Next up for this now is a real big battle. These two battled earlier when Deagle had it pretty comfortably earlier, and the undercut worked a treat for Blizzard. Deagle dropped back a little bit, but he's got his way back up into P2, and now these two can be back on track battling once again. Dan Daniel 5/10 behind McSendit, so he could still scrap that podium celebrations for the McLaren guy of McSendit, and this could still be a very interesting Grand Prix nonetheless. Cherry 2-Pie and the H Eagle, two guys who come together early on in this Grand Prix, are going to be very tight on track here. Cherry 2-Pie has gone wide, H Eagle's going to get better exit out the corner, and this is the battle for last. Nobody wants to finish last in this Grand Prix, I can tell you that for nothing. The H Eagle is going to get last even before the braking zone. Cherry 2-Pie though is going to come back at him, maybe. No DRS available to him, and the H Eagle has got that move done, and he is up into P13 of this Grand Prix. Any other good battles? Will, Lambo and Button are very tight. Pipmat's not gaining dramatically as we expected, but this little midfield scrap could give him some chance to gain some significant time and points and places in this Grand Prix. It's Poe, Button and Will who are very, very close. All three of them part of esports teams, ironically enough. You've got Thrive, TTG and LMC there, so you know, all of them keeping their options nice and open, you could say. Poe is defending onto the grass there. A very strange defensive manoeuvre from Poe. He's struggling a little bit, and I don't know if he's like got punched or something, or just let Will pass. But Poe has given up there and has dropped down to the P10, so Pipmat is now going to have to try and gain onto him. Will's got a 3-second time penalty. If Pipmat just keeps his cards right, he can still get points with the way penalties are set up at the moment. But Button to France is 11 seconds there, so I don't think that he's going to get anywhere higher than 11th at this rate, the way he's gaining, but he is gaining nonetheless. Dan Daniel with another penalty. Sector 3, yellow flags. Who's gone off? Is there anyone we can see? Anyone? No, just someone's gone wide slightly, so nothing major there, just a little wide moment. But Killer's not gaining too much. McSendit's keeping him keen. Fastest lap from the H Eagle. It was a retirement from Cherry 2-Pie. Cherry 2-Pie has retired from this Grand Prix. You can see a car's gone off on the left hand side of the track there, and that is Cherry 2-Pie's Toro Rosso. So that was what the other flag was for. Apologies for that, but that is why Button is still, you know, got to defend against Will here. Poe behind as well is dropping off quite a lot, 2.4 seconds. Pipmat's 2.6, so he can see the chance of points. He just needs to keep his tyres nice and clean and keep out of the battles there, and someone's gone off, and it's Poe. I said keep it clean, and he has done something Poe hasn't done. I think that might just be the end of Poe's Grand Prix. He's going to hold on to P11, but he's crashing it into a wall at the moment for some odd reason. That will promote Brown up into P11. Poe now, is he trying to crash his car or something? I'm not too sure. There goes Brown, there goes Poe, and that is P10 for Pipmat. A good recovery drive for him. He's now 5 seconds off Will, who's battling nicely with Button at the moment as these guys head up through turn 3, this long right-hander It's only into turn 4. Is there an opportunity for overtakes? You can see a lot of guys have struggled for understeer with the dirty air, causing a lot of hindrance to these downforce and these front wing packages these guys are bringing. The Renault is struggling on the dirty air of the Haas car at the moment there, or the Haas car, however you prefer to say it. Sector 3, a yellow flag. Real struggling there from Francis, losing the rear end. Who's gone off at Sector 3 though? It looks like another retirement is Poe. So Poe's retired there. So you know, guys love retiring at Sector 3. 12 guys remaining in this Grand Prix. A lot of them self-inflicted issues there. Tinge spinning multiple times. A crash for Super Guy and El Lambo binned it and then binned it full time. Cherry 2 by binned it at turn 1 and just retired safely. Poe, multiple mistakes from him and he has crashed out. So 2 TGP guys. Poe is third in the championship. Ollie, who's second in the championship. Neither of them picking up points in this Grand Prix. A huge blow for them two's championship game. Obviously Ollie wasn't here, so he couldn't really couldn't defend, but you can see McSendit's going to still try and make this a 1-2 for McLaren. He's not let Deagle Killer get away too much at all, as these guys are going to continue to battle on lap 27 of 33. We're coming through the final few stages of this Grand Prix. Let's see what these guys are able to do as they're going to keep battling. Deagle Killer's doing a good enough job. P2 would be great for him. He'd gain 19 points. His championship lead will be up to 19 points of Ollie D. Ollie D will be okay with that, I dare say. He can still gain and chip away at that, but Deagle Killer needs to keep it nice and safe and just realise that points are points in this championship battle. Whether it's 25 or whether it's 2, it's still important points for the championship. It's a crucial opportunity. Brown is now retired and crashed out, which means H Eagle will go up to 12. So a lot of these guys making silly mistakes here at Spain. The tyres are really starting to show their wear. Button, who's on the oldest medium compound tyre, 19 lap old tyres. He could be one of the guys to keep an eye on for punctures at the moment. It says he's on softs on track, but he's actually on mediums, as you can see from the graphic there. So Pit Matt, he's not gaining too much from Will either, so Will, not really any pace there from Pit Matt. Will's keeping it nice and keen on Button, but them guys have been close for quite a lot this Grand Prix. Send it now on the Eagle Killer as they're going to come down. Another battle between these two heading into turn 1. It's McLaren and Red Bulls constantly battling here as they're going to head into turn 1 now. Can send it around the outside? He sent it indeed. He's licked that stamp and he's sent it once again, and this is going to become a pun centre right about now. And McSendit makes it McLaren 1-2, and once again he's got past the Eagle Killer, and the Eagle Killer has got to do it once again, all over again, and this is going to become a recurring theme between these two. This is just allowing Blizzard to gain a lot of time. McSendit's lost the rear end slightly there, coming out of turn 4's long right-hander, and this actually allowed the Eagle Killer to get back into his slipstream, and this could be a manoeuvre once again as they head up through this difficult left-hander up the hill, avoiding the gravel, both of them just clipping that AstroTurf nicely as he gets full acceleration. Dirty air could hinder him, but if he gets a good exit, which it looks like he's going to do, which he has done, with DRS available to him, could Deagle Killer send it up the inside? I don't think he's be able to do it this lap, but I definitely think down the start-finish straight once again, Deagle Killer could swap places with McSendit, and this could be a continuous battle on lap 28 of 33. The race is coming to a steady close here. No battle for the lead at the moment. Blizzard, though, needs to keep it safe and mature at the moment. The battle's on track that you want to keep an eye on is the one we're on board with at the moment, which is McSendit and Blizzard, and of course Button and Will, who have been battling for quite a while. You want to keep an eye on Pit Matt as well. His times may drop slightly and his pace may get a little bit quicker with the way that his tyres are set up. With 15 and 20 lap old Button and Will, he can still gain positions in this Grand Prix. Heading down to turn 1, Deagle Killer's getting close, but he can't get close enough as they head into turn 1 once again. McSendit's doing a good enough job. These guys must have such similar pace. Their tyres are exactly the same, so their pace must also be incredibly consistent between the two of them. I can't imagine their time trial laps around here would be too dissimilar, and their qualifying pace must be very similar. Sometimes you find drivers are more successful in qualifying and race conditions. Some guys have a bit more bottle in race trim as well, and Francis picking up a 3-second time penalty there. A good job from him to maybe hinder himself on points. LMC Will has finally got past Button. Is it a mistake? It is a mistake from Button. That's actually now going to allow Pit Matt, who's going to come up the hill now and see a slow moving Haas car of Button, who's on L tyres, and this could still get interesting. I think actually Will come together with him, so there was contact between the two of them. Will's letting that pass, so we've got ourselves a battle, everyone. A battle for P8 between Will, Button and the fast approaching Pit Matt. All three of them very close on track. The Eagle Killer is also close onto McSendit, but he's gaining a little bit, the McLaren guy, so I do not think he's going to be able to get the move done, but you see through that chicane he gets close, but out the corner you can just see that these guys are pulling away slightly as they exit. A gaggle of cars starting to form. Button's got past Will there, and yeah, it looks like it's going to be Pit Matt having to make the charge between these two guys, as Button's been holding up Will for quite a while, and even with contact, Will gracious there, a good sign of maturity, Just 11 guys here, so the points are important from these guys. Eagle Killer would lead the championship by 16 points after this Grand Prix from Ollie D. And man in third position as well, Poe, is picking up 0. Will's gone very wide there. Pitman has them put on the brakes nice and late there, which could actually hinder his exit, which it has done. So Will's actually maybe saved his bacon a little bit there. He's going to have Slipstream and DRS available to him. As you see now, he's going to come down here. A defensive line has been chosen by the Haas driver as they're coming down the start-finish straight. It doesn't look like he's going to get the manoeuvre done here, but 22 lap old tyres for Button. Lap 30 of 33. He's got 3.5 laps basically to complete, with 3 2/3, so to speak. The way it's set up. Button is really struggling though on them tyres, and Will can see that. Pit Matt can as well. He just needs to stay patient because these two could hit each other once again and he could move up to P8 with just a simple, easy manoeuvre. Stay hydrated, kids. Also, Drill, take Lemsip. It's very good for you. Will though, on the rear end of Button once again. These guys are continuing their battle as they're heading up this lovely camera angle there. Look at that, as they're all switching through that quick right-hander. Button's gone wide, so has Will. Will's lost it. He's lost a wheel. We caught it there. Will has lost Will, and so's Button. Button's gone off as well. Has anything happened to Pit Matt? No. Both of them have gone off at the same time. Horrendous moment there from Button. Horrendous from Will, and that is not ideal. I think though, H-Eagle, once he overtakes, will move up a position up into P9 of course, but I think Button will have completed enough percentage of this Grand Prix to move up into P9, but Button and Will have gone off and they've both lost the rear end, and that is a tragedy for both drivers. H-Eagle, who has been incredibly patient, I dare say Cherry 2 Pie wishes he would have been as well, because he'd have had some points here. I think a lot of these guys wish they would have been patient and stayed it to the end, because points would have been on the cards, but Pit Matt has done himself a favour. He stayed out the incident and he has moved up into P8. A great little moment there for him, but some horrendous driving from Will and Button on very old tyres. Have lost the rear end and both of them out of this Grand Prix. Button will pick up points with the way the system is, with the percentage ruling. And yeah, Button is going to get P10, H-Eagle in P9 at the moment, and P8 for Pitman. Let's have a look though. The only battle really left on track could maybe be Marchetti's Tim Palm, but this one between the Eagle Killer and Muxendit, you can see how close Blizzard is ahead of them as well. So maybe potentially he could get dragged into this. It would be a late bit of drama if he was. Could you imagine if he was just roped back into this battle, a battle he's been trying to get out of for so long. Muxendit's going to have to defend once again. France has got past Dan Daniel. Is there an issue for Dan Daniel? He's got a puncture. So Dan Daniel on 21 lap old tyres has a puncture. That's not going to be good news for Tim Palm and Blizzard, who are going to be coming onto them lap old tyres very shortly. Here comes Dan Daniel, a 5-second sob go, which may even promote Pit Matt once again. So Pit Matt, Mr. Consistent there, we took the mick out of him earlier, calling him our little special fella, has actually pulled off a bit of a madness, and he's going to be up into P7. Consistency at its finest. A 5-second stop go penalty for Dan Daniel. He's going to come out probably around about P8. There goes Pit Matt, moving up to P7. And consistency is key there. So for Blizzard though, he needs to really keep an eye on his tyres as they come through these final few laps on the penultimate lap. Can Blizzard keep his tyres safe? For one final time, these guys will be going through one more lap. It's 1.8 seconds from Blizzard. We'll keep an eye on what he's able to do. This has been an intense, enthralling little race, this has. All these guys have been close. Battles have been key. Dan Daniel's 5.8 seconds behind Pit Matt. He could still gain if he flies on them super soft tyres. None of these guys have been lapped there. Beautiful camera angle. Look how close the Eagle Killer is this time around to Muxendit. He needs to try and hold onto that slipstream in DRS. You can see how close Blizzard is. One mistake and a puncture. Any of these three can still win this Grand Prix. The tyre degradation for Tim Palm as well. He'll be nurturing them tyres. You can see how close Marchetti's is behind. Can the Eagle Killer get the move done this time? No, he cannot. Let's have a look, see what Marchetti's can do. Tim Palm will be feathering that throttle, lifting and coasting, trying to save his tyres. Round the outside goes Marchetti. He's not really been involved in many battles today, but he is now. A little bit of contact between him and Tim Palm there, but Tim Palm has got the manoeuvre done, and that's a little bit wheel to wheel. That's a little bit Sebastian Vettel, Lewis Hamilton-esque from 2017, and Marchetti's is going to get his elbows out maybe and go for the manoeuvre. It looks like a puncture maybe on the front tyre there from Tim Palm, or is he just feathering it a little bit? I think he's just feathering it. Marchetti's though, will he go for a dive bomb here? Round the outside goes Marchetti's. He's going to try and hang it around the outside. Can he get the switch back? Maybe no. Blizzard has a penalty. That can actually hinder him for the race victory here. Here goes Marchetti's going round the outside once again. Him and Tim Palm keeping it clean. And this is really good battling between these two. Keep an eye on it. There goes Tim Palm up the inside. Round the outside goes Marchetti's. He can't get the manoeuvre done though. Here they go though as they head down into the final DRS zone. Can he get the move done? Tim Palm defending nicely on the inside. Round the outside goes Marchetti's. he get the move done? Round the outside once again. No, he cannot. He's pushed off wide, and that looks to be it, though. We'll go aboard with Blizzard, who has had a pretty much flawless race from start to finish. He has been the man who was on pole, and he's going to win this. He's had some great battles. He's been first, second, third, fourth. He's done it in style, though. Blizzard wins the Spanish Grand Prix and picks up a puncture on the last lap or runs out of fuel. He doesn't know. Muxendit wins the Grand Prix. Blizzard's 3-second penalty at the end there on the last lap has actually cost him the race victory and has dropped him down into P3, meaning Muxendit for McLaren has won this Grand Prix. Diego Killer's in second. Third is Blizzard. Marquez gets past Tim Palm in the end, who's made a mistake or got a puncture. I think he's got a puncture there, so he drops down. Marquez in 4th, France is 5th, Tim Palm 6th, Pit Matt in 7th. Dan Daniel, in fact, no, this is incredible. Dan Daniel up the inside, potentially the final corner. Can he get it done? He's going to push off Pit Matt. This is great racing between these two. Can he get it done up the inside? No, Dan Daniel picks up a 5-second stop go. 5-second penalty for unserved stop go anyway, but that's great late drama from these two. And Diego Killer, who is 20 seconds behind, is going to come across the line to finish in P9. Button will get P10 after completing enough percentage of this Grand Prix. Some fantastic late drama there from these guys, some real good racing. Dan Daniel at the end, Muxendit, Diego Killer, some fantastic drivers. For driver of the day, it is so tough to decide who gets it. It's a very tough one. There'll be a poll out on Twitter. I'd imagine the nominees are going to go as the podium here. I think the nominees have to be Muxendit. Even though he's dropped positions, I'd say Blizzard because he's had a pretty flawless Grand Prix beside the penalty. Pit Matt would definitely be up there, and I'd probably say Marquez as well. So personally, those would be the 4. We'll see what goes on Twitter later on. Remember to vote in your poll for driver of the day. Huge congratulations to Muxendit, who has sent a message to his rivals that he is here to stay and he is going to be a competitive driver. He is, I believe, the 3rd race winner here from it was Diego Killer, Ollie D, and Muxendit now the 3rd race winner of this. I might be wrong there, but there's your race classification. Let's take a look of who took it. It was Muxendit for USA. He's the only man not to get a penalty, ironically. Blizzard's penalty actually did cost him a place. It cost him 2nd place. Diego Killer is in 2nd, and then Blizzard 3rd. 4th is Marquez for Ireland. Then Francis in 5th. Tim Palm is in 6th. Pit Matt in 7th. He didn't actually pick up a single penalty. Good work from him. I don't think he did. No, he did. Sorry, he picked up a 3-second. Then Dan Daniel in 8th. 9th is the H Eagle. Button will get the points after gaining enough percentage of completion there. Will, he's in 11th. Him and Button come together and just crashed out in great style. Brown, Poe, Terry Tupai, Lambo, Super Guy, Nell and Tinge round out the standings there. Some great racing, some great drama, and that has been your Spanish Grand Prix. Well, thank you all very much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed this Grand Prix and this coverage. I do apologise for my bunged up illnesses, but next week we'll be back to hopefully normal. We'll have a co-commentator as well, so maybe try and spice things up a little bit. Once again, a huge thank you. Vote for your driver of the day. Congratulations to all the guys on the podium, Muxendit, Blizzard and Diego Killer. We will see you guys next week. We will see you guys next week for round 6, which will be the Monaco Grand Prix. Thank you all very much for watching, and see you very soon. Take care and good night.